To everyone in the chat, do you know what I mean? Obviously, we're looking forward to this one, as you know, of course. And I know a lot of you are in the chat as well, neutral or Luton fan, or even Coventry fan. Obviously, we're here for the Hatter Show. Obviously, episode 105. Pretty good number to do this final one. Obviously, we're taking on Coventry, as we know, in the playoff final. And yeah, man, apologies about that. Me and my dad, we were actually both backstage, but for some reason it put us on separate bits. So he was actually in the whole time. So when I said waiting for my dad, I wasn't actually. It's just StreamYard was having a bit of a mare. So apologies about that. But I am joined with him, of course, like always. How are we, Dad? We are here.
Excellent, mate. Excellent. You?
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I've been buzzing for this game for a couple of days. Obviously, like I said yesterday on the community post, shout out to David. Obviously, I was having problems trying to get tickets, and he's actually come through and managed to get us some. Me, you, and Chris. So it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. It's going to be like, for us, it's going to be like all over again in that sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me go through the comments because there's a lot of people in here waiting to big up to yourselves. Big up to Ben, Luton Town FC. He says, big up to you, Ty, and Daz going to have to make the playback. Have a great night and a fantastic day tomorrow, guys. Come on, you Hatters. Yeah, big up yourself, mate. Appreciate, anyone that watches these, even if it is on playback. So, yeah, thank you for that. And big up to yourself as well, mate. Big up to David. Like I said, massive shout out to him. He said, big up to
it. Appreciate it massively.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and obviously thanks to your dad as well. Like I've said to you, for that, Stephen. I'm actually going to finally meet Stephen tomorrow. We're going to plan to meet each other before the game. Obviously, we haven't managed to meet yet, and I know he's really wanting to do that. And by the way, if any of you are going and you want to be on the vlog, I'm happy to do score predictions and that. And also, if any of you are confident, to also go somewhere else, there's someone I know doing fan cams. He's a Liverpool fan. He's doing fan cams for another channel. Hopefully, I'll be going on that. But if any of you want to go on that, just let me know. Drop me a message. He don't know where he's going to be yet, but he'll let me know, and then I'll let any of you know if you're interested. Big up to Chris as well. Someone's ringing my buzzer, and no one's even here, so that's a bit annoying. One sec, people. One sec.
Big up, Chris. It is unusual, mate. Get sun in Scotland, but I wouldn't have thought to get a tan. Must be that global warming.
Apologies about that one, people. It's a delivery, so I had to obviously answer it. So, yeah. But, yeah, Chris, I don't know if you read this out, Dad. I'm not sure. Yeah. Now, big up, Chris. Big up. But, yeah, Scotland. I see you put that comment before we went live. Yeah, bloody hell. That's a bit mad, isn't it? The weather's all right. To be fair, the weather's all right everywhere. I think it's T-shirt or just a shirt tomorrow. It's that sort of weather, isn't it? Chris, obviously, his team are in the finals. Well, Carlisle, I had a feeling they'd bring it back in the second leg, especially being at home. I did say that. But he says, I bet you lads are nervous for the final. I know I'm nervous for our final, the closer it gets, but I'm confident. I'm sure you're confident for your final too. I'll let you answer this one, Dad. First, obviously, try not to give a score prediction, but...
obviously, I'm confident. Not, the most confident I've been for a while. I've witnessed a lot of playoff heartbreaks over the years. So yeah, all I'm going to say at the moment is I'm confident for this one. But it's not it. But no illusions. It's not going to be easy. But I'm still pretty confident.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Obviously, without trying to give too much away, I'm the same. So yeah, that's that. Oh, comments are flying in. Big up yourselves. I've just literally lost where I was. Oh, there I was. Big up to David. Obviously, you send in 79p. I said, obviously, big up to yourself, mate. Obviously, as you lot know, any super chat I receive goes back into the channel. So yeah, appreciate that. Obviously, like I said, a massive shout out to you helping with tickets as well. So big up. Big up to Billy, says come on you Hatters, big up yourself. Nervous yet, Ty? Me personally, obviously without trying to give too much away, I'm getting nervous in a sense because I know what it obviously means and, what Luton fans, obviously older ones like yourself have seen in the past. I'm nervous in that sense. And there was a stat which I will get into, which is a little bit nervy, but yeah, it's one of them. I'm trying not to give too much away, but as we get there a little bit, I could imagine tomorrow when we're travelling, I'll be a bit just thinking about it. Obviously, I'll be enjoying myself, but going there, it's going to be like, oh, here we go. Then here we go. When we see it, we're going to be like, right, this is where it's at, sort of thing. So, yeah, Billy, this is what he thinks if whoever goes up. He says if Coventry go up, they'll go right back down rock bottom. He reckons. Luton go up, I think they'll fight for relegation right down to the last day. Yeah, let's be real. Obviously, if we did go up, our aim would be to stay up. Let's be serious now. You never know. If the Premier League's tight like it is this season, it's still how many teams can still go down? It's like 4 teams, isn't it? Obviously, no, 3. Sorry, because Southampton are already down. So it's all interesting. Big up to yourself, mate. He says hi. Big up yourself. Big up Harry. This is his prediction. I should have pinned it really, but he says 2-1 either way. Fair enough. Big up Stephen says big up Ty, buzzing and nervous. Yeah, obviously we had a conversation earlier. He says big up to you as well, Dad.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can feel the build up to playoff finals already. Yeah, no, absolutely. Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad as well because it was an absolute nightmare. I know it was for a lot of people. It's weird how it's working. But yeah, big up to the ticket office as well, actually. They did ring me a couple of days ago and just double checked if I'd managed to get some. So, big up to them. Huddersfield new owner is hopeful of keeping Warnock. Interesting. That'd be good. That'd be good for you guys, of course. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're good. Thanks, mate. Hope you're well. Absolutely. If there's a time to proper do it, other than obviously Watford games, it's this game, isn't it? Of course. Yeah, exactly, Harry. Exactly that, mate. But yeah, caught up with all the comments so far, so big up to yourselves for that. But let's get into it. It's obviously Coventry City is obviously who we will be playing, as we know. See, it's an interesting one. It's Coventry's first ever time in the Championship playoffs. We have had sort of a journey with them in that sense where we were in League 2 not too long ago together, League 1, obviously Championship now. It's all interesting. I'm going to go into a bit of stats and then we'll get into our thoughts going into it in a lineup. So the stats, the first ones I'm going to go through going into it are as follows. Let me just wait for this to load. So we are slightly the favourites in this one I think it's by 9%. Yeah, it is by 9%. So yeah, here we go. This is Luton's first ever appearance in a Football League playoff final with their 2-0 win over Sunderland, as we know. The first ever victory in a playoff game, which is obviously, I only remembered that earlier thinking about it. They're featured in 2 playoff finals in the non-league, obviously failing to get promoted in either. Losing on penalties to AFC Wimbledon in 2011 after a 0-0 draw and losing 2-1 to York City. Obviously, York City one, we know that proper kicked off. Coventry have never lost an EFL playoff match before, winning 3, drawing 2, winning their previous final 3-1 against Exeter in 2017-18, League 2 that was. This is a good one to hear if you're a Luton fan. Luton are unbeaten in their last 9 meetings with Coventry in all competitions, winning 4, drawing 5 since a 3-0 home loss in October 2017 in League 2. Both championship meetings between the sides this term ended in a draw. Luton Town are looking to reach the Premier League for the first time with their most recent top flight season coming in 1991-92 when they finished 20th. The side finishing third has failed to win promotion in 5 of the last 8 Championship playoff finals they've competed in. The others are Norwich City in 2014 to 15, Fulham in 2017 to 18, Brentford in 2020 to 21. And then the last one, Coventry are looking to return to the Premier League for the first time since 2000 to 2001 season, when they were relegated under Gordon Strachan. They have played in 34 consecutive top flight campaigns before that. So that's that. When it comes to, the other thing, I'm going to go into a bit of what Rob Edwards has said. And I did get to proper watch the interview the other day, when it come out, obviously on YouTube. And the end of it was quite funny. I'm not sure if they'll mention it on here, but we'll see. So this is what Rob Edwards has said going into it. He says our away form was just as good as our home form, and we will have over 36,000 people behind us. I feel we'll be supported even more, which obviously, is very true. Obviously, we know that. He also says, I know Coventry will have the same, but it'll make for a great atmosphere. And so far this season, the lads have really risen in those big games and big occasions. It's brought the best out of them. Last week was a good example of that. Watford here, and then obviously Sheffield United away. They've done well in big games, and hopefully one more we can perform in the biggest of them all, of course. What else has he said here? He says a lot of people deserve credit. Gary Sweet and the board for the plan and what they've done to bring this club back from the depths. To do it over not that long of a period is incredible. Mick Harford, whatever role he's been in, he is a legend of this football club. In terms of the recruitment now with him, Phil Chappell, I think that's how you say his name, Jay Sokic, I think that's how you say his name, and the recruitment team, without good players, you can't be a good coach or a good manager. John Steele, that promotion out of the National League was arguably the most important one, the hardest one to do. It was lovely to see him. I did see a picture, actually. I can see my camera's playing up, so I'll just turn it off for now while I read this. I did see him with Ruddock, actually. That was quite nice to see. He was saying lovely things to my dad the other day, and it meant a lot. That was special. Obviously, Rob Edwards again. Me and you, big up Nathan Jones for what he'd done. For Rob Edwards to capitalise on it. He's mentioned it again here. Taking the club from League Two and then upwards with help from Mick Harford, Sheehan, and obviously Chris Cohen. They deserve a lot of credit. There's been a plan. The guys now make the decisions along with me now. We won't let the club go back into that kind of place again. It shows how you can achieve something. You can achieve something, and you can get there, but you've got to have a plan. You've got to try have consistency. You've got to recruit well. You've got to be savvy, and then know what you are, and try to be good at it. That's what we've done really well. When you come into the club, you try and make yourself really aware of the players, and you watch a lot of footage. So I'm prepared when I have my interview, etc. When I'm talking about the squad, what I could see was a really good group of players who were very competitive and were in a good position in the league. But you don't see everything behind the scenes and all the great people that are here that put so much time and effort to make the club run really smoothly. Brilliant people here. I'm around good people. So yeah, that's what he said. But there was a little bit where he's talking about the Sunderland game, and obviously Mowbray's comments. He had a little bit of a dig. I'm not sure if any of you saw that, but it's quite funny. I know a lot of people did on YouTube, obviously, that watched it, and he was like, basically talk about the game, and he was like, at the end, we just booted it, or something like that, and it was quite funny. But obviously, that's what Mowbray was saying, so obviously, there's a little dig at him by the sounds of it. But yeah, after saying all of that, Dad, how are you feeling going into this one?
You know what? Yeah, obviously you get nervous, yeah, because this is natural. But almost like just waiting for it to be I don't know, like excited, obviously, as well, and kind of feel like I can already picture it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just about enjoying it really now, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And just take it. It's almost, every, like, in sections, 10 minutes to see where we are, 15 minutes. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's almost like that at the moment. It's quite overwhelming, to be honest with you. Because yeah, I anticipated that we would get there. Maybe not as quick as we have, or potentially, will, but it's been on the cards anyway. So we've just got to go out and enjoy it. And like Rob Edwards has said as well, just be the way you play. It should be fine. Yeah, it's going to be tight, but if you play the way we have been playing, the whole build up, everything like that, as long as and I don't think there is too much pressure because we haven't stumbled into the playoffs. We've gone into the playoffs for the last 2 seasons. You know, we're certainly capable of doing it. So it's almost unbelievable because of the whole journey and how quick and Nathan Jones leaving as well. But there is stuff that has changed, and it's just sort of it's like a little acceleration boost under Rob Edwards. So I just think that's going to carry us through. I honestly do. So I'm feeling nervous but confident.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Sorry, I'm still having troubles with this camera, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, no, I'm the stat that it don't worry me, but the one I didn't realise is obviously the Coventry unbeaten in the playoffs. But then again, I just think it's one of them going into this where it's just, is it come back? Oh no. Well, I just think it's it's ours to lose. I really do. I think it's similar. Obviously, I'm not trying to talk. Go on.
The thing is with that, it's League Two playoff finals. Yeah, right. We had the conference playoff finals. We got done by an offside flag, right? When their player was offside and whatever it was, and it was just there's VAR this time. The Wimbledon one was just a stupid penalty kick. And the playoffs, I think when they won the playoffs in League Two or whatever, I think we went up automatically that season. So, it's not as bad as it sounds, if that makes sense, and generally if we've gone on to do things, then it's, we've won the league or we've got automatic promotion. We had goalkeeper issues and things like that. And we've already broken so many records this season. We've already done the playoff hoodoo. So,
yeah,
we hadn't won a playoff a game. Yeah. But, we beat Sunderland, So what's to say that Coventry have never lost a playoff game? It can happen, so it's not that big a deal, especially with the fact that we're unbeaten with them. And a few of them games that, there was a couple of games in there where we'd played them twice, beat them 5-0, beat them 2-0. And we had lesser players than we've got now. And in a couple of them games, they still had the very similar squad players that they've got now. Yes, they've got players that can make a difference, but so have we. And I think that's being underplayed quite a lot. Gyökeres, everyone's like, yeah, if you give him, but we're good at defending. We've defended against as good strikers as him, if not better. We turn up for the big games. We gave Chelsea a run for their money a couple of seasons ago. We've been doing it for a long time. So,
yeah. Apologies to people. It's just having one of them flipping days, which is just annoying.
that's gone.
It's finished. It's just finished, isn't it? Right, let's see how long this lasts. But yeah, like me personally, like I said, obviously, like you said as well, the nerves are there. Of course they are. The magnitude of the game. But I just think it's ours to lose. I really do. I think it's similar, for example, for the Champions League final. Man City's to lose now, really. I just think it's similar in that sense. Again, it goes back to what you said when we played Sunderland in the second leg for me, where we need to show why we finished third in that sense, and we did. We turned up. Coventry fans, they didn't expect to get in the playoffs. Let's be serious now. A lot of people, mainly neutrals, didn't think Luton would again, but we knew we'd be in this sort of position. I said fourth and win the playoffs. So, if we finish third and win the playoffs, that's not a bad prediction for me. I'm only one off. So, when we get to it, I'm confident, to be honest. Like I said, Gyökeres, dealt with strikers like that before. Obviously he is very good, as we know. But even then, you look at the recent years where we've had worse teams, as in players in our team, and we've managed to win convincingly. For example, we got a better team now, as we know, than last season. When obviously we beat them 5-0, and like I said earlier, they haven't beat us since 2017 either. Obviously, we was in League Two, both of us. So, I'm confident in that sense, to be honest. So, yeah, that's that going into it. Let me just see if I can try that, see if that works. But yeah, let's go through some comments, and then we'll get into the lineup and that sort of thing. Oh, God's sake, man, this is annoying now. Seriously, I might actually have to join on my phone, people, because this is just annoying. It really is. Oh, my gosh. 1 second, let me try something, see if this works. Right, there we go. Right, where was I on comments? Oh, yeah. So here, Stephen says, ticket office, round the clock, deserve a big shout. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. The amount of emails that we got, like I said, I weren't the only one struggling. So, yeah, I'll shout out to them. I'm sticking the game on TV. Should be good. Yeah, should be, mate. I know a lot of people that are neutrals said to me, what's it on? Can I watch it? Yeah, of course you can, man. Massive. This is actually David's dad. It's a big up, who actually managed to get us the tickets.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for that. Much appreciated. Obviously, like I said, we were struggling to get them. So yeah. Stephen says, ticket office working round the clock with complaints and helping getting people their tickets. Big deserved shout out. Yeah, 100%, mate. Obviously, Chris, like I say, Carlisle fan, he is going to his game at Wembley as well, which is a few days after, I think, or day after. He says, got my tickets for our final, day after second leg, so pretty quick, to be honest. And I'm going to, Spence, he's going to a boxing fight as well. Nice one. Crawford, yeah, nice. On 29th of July, so I've got that booked. Yeah, nice one, mate. Nice one. Yes, I am going, mate. I am going. I did put it on a community post yesterday, or it's the day before, I can't remember. But yeah, I am going. So yeah, man. Me and my dad will both be going to it. I fancy both teams to stay up in the Premier League, to be honest. It's doing it again. Still a lot of bad teams that can be overlooking their shoulders. Exactly. And if the Premier League's as tight as it was this season, next season, there's no reason why, it can't be, close in that sense. I'd fancy Luton start more if promoted because Coventry still have their problems. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Oh, my God, this camera is so annoying, man. Honestly. Big up to Jackie. She says, evening to you both. I'm feeling anxious and excited. Yeah, I'm similar. Very similar. Thank you for tuning in as well. Yeah, finals tend to be 50-50, don't they, really? So I hear what you're saying there. Well offside, awful call. Obviously, Steve talked about one of the games in the past. Which players would you take from Coventry? Their standout players for me is obviously Gyökeres, Hammer, and the player they've got on loan from Arsenal. I'd probably take Hammer, to be fair. So yeah, Gyökeres is very good, but obviously we got Morris. Morris could still overtake him on goal scorers. So I'll say Hammer. So yeah. What about you, Dad?
Well, yeah, definitely Hammer. Gyökeres, obviously, you ain't going to say no, but the issue for me is not that I feel like Morris is getting underplayed a lot by the media. A lot of the media seem to think that Coventry are going to edge it, beat us 1-0. Click that if that happens, but I can't see us not scoring.
Yeah,
I can't see that happening. And it's still going on that our players are getting not the credit that they deserve. So we'll see. And Morris hasn't scored yet. And he's come very close, been very good. So it's his time to step up. He's been in playoffs before. I think Ethan was in last season's playoff final. I don't think.
Didn't he come on towards the end or something?
I don't even know if he come on, but he was definitely involved. So he's not going to be. I doubt he's going to be nervous because he's been there. I didn't start, but still adds to the occasion. It's still that'll still be in the back of his mind. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, them two players obviously, and then the keeper maybe. I didn't like his antics against Middlesbrough when he pretended he got a whack on the head. I don't know what that was a bit. I feel you can get under his skin. So we'll see. But yeah, we're still being a little bit underestimated. It's like, oh, what? Both teams are being disrespected as well by Sky Sports fans, should I say? The worst final you could ever imagine, and both of them are definitely finished bottom. Whoever goes up is just going to get a word, and basically not even going to win a game. Almost attitude, clueless, and absolutely. I do feel we'd do better because with the way we play, things like that. We're coming there to shake it up, and it needs shaking up anyway, in my opinion. Coventry, if they make some good signings, that they might be right. They'll probably definitely be able to keep hold of them two players if they do go up. I don't see why not, and they would assist them. But I feel like that they've got them standout players, and the rest of the team is average really. Whereas we've got the whole thing ticking over at the same time. Everyone's in sync. So for me, that gives us the edge. Mark Robbins is a brilliant manager. He obviously tactically, astute and that, but we've got that extra edge for me. And if we play the way we can, that should carry us forward. That's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree.
I'm sure if you ask Coventry fans, they'd take more than, if they've got any sense, they'd take more than two players off of us if they had the opportunity. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
I've already had certain fans say they'd take Elijah, and obviously it goes without saying, surely you take Morris, you'd probably take that. There's a lot of players. Lockyer, you can't be telling me you wouldn't take him.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go, and it's just a sync thing for me, like I knew it was going to happen at some point, and the way it is happening just seems to be that time. Part of me was thinking initially when we were called 2020, when they come and took it over, it was a few years ago that was their ambition to get in the Premier League by that time. Obviously COVID come along as well. So maybe we're not as far behind as we think we are.
It's true.
It's almost at the point where obviously we'd be very, very disappointed. I think our fans would be more disappointed if we didn't go out than Coventry fans would be.
Agree. Totally agree.
And the
Like
real.
I said, it links back to what I said earlier, doesn't it? A lot of their fans didn't expect them to be in the playoffs, whereas most of ours did. Let's be honest.
And the real test would be if we don't, how are we going to go about next season? We're going to have to go exactly the same, but even more. But last season, we didn't stumble into the playoffs, but it was a bit nervy. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't. It was disappointing, but this would be much more disappointing because we know how we can play. There's a few games where if we turn it on, even against Coventry a few years ago when we beat them 5-0, we were outstanding.
Yeah, I was at that game. Yeah, absolutely agree.
Had the same manager,
Hmm.
you know, so we are capable of doing it. But again, with Luton, we always say they tend to do things the hard way, but it just seems to be leaning more towards getting out of that sort of, that's why I was confident for the Sunderland home game as well. And I'm also seeing a lot of, they're not at Kenilworth Road, or they're a little tiny pitch, and that's going to mess them up completely at Wembley. Again, no, there's no facts behind that. That it's our away record is very good.
And that's what Rob Edwards said, didn't he, when it was mentioned in the interview?
Most of the pitches we play on away.
Exactly.
We've obviously been training on a pitch the same size of Wembley anyway, since we've known with getting into the final. It's not going to make no difference. If anything, I think it might benefit us. I think what it is really is the fans. It's not it's a small pitch because it ain't that much smaller really. It's the fans, the intensity, but that wasn't working for us at the beginning of the season. So you can throw that out. And when we did play Coventry in the last game away at their ground, which is slightly smaller than Wembley, we had 49% possession, which is the most we've had in an away game.
Yeah.
So, things ain't going to just change overnight. They know what they've got to do to try and combat us. But if they can't do that, psychologically, it'll give us the edge. Exactly the same as it did against Sunderland.
Yeah, I agree.
To your advantages, they've got some slightly taller players and that the back. But, our defence, I'd say our defence is better than theirs.
Yeah, I'd agree. Chris says the betting makes Coventry favourites. Not sure I agree with that. The teams that should be favourites to win their playoffs are the teams who finished higher. You'd think that, wouldn't you? But
I think with that, what I think's happened next, we've been favourites all the way through, right? Naturally, it makes sense, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, what happens is if a lot of people start putting money on Coventry, then their odds shorten. So if they go into the game being favourites and then start even that, we'll be like looking at their phone, they might be told not to, but they'll hear it somewhere and be like, everyone's fancying us now, like we can do it and stuff. Yeah, that's better for us. So I'll check that out later, but that's what normally happens. Middlesbrough are favourites all the way through.
Yeah, that's true.
Before a ball was even kicked in, we still had 2 games to go, and they were like favourites to get promoted for the playoffs or whatever. So, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Stephen, obviously you told me this the other day, Dad.
Yeah,
I saw that. No, that's good, man. That's good. But we were having a conversation about it. Obviously, we all know this anyway, but obviously the whole town is going to be together, for this. Even if they're not going, it's going to be.
It's going to be as well. Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, I've seen a lot of comments over the past week or whatever. Why they ain't going to sell 20,000 tickets. How have they sold 36,000 tickets? They only get 10,000 fans. We only fill what we can get. There's plenty of fans who'd love to go who can't get a ticket just for the home games. Yeah. I see that the new plans have come out again for the new stadium. Capacity is actually increased from what it initially was, which was 17.5. Now they're saying they're going to start with 19.5, which makes sense. And obviously they can add on if necessary. So that's happening anyway. Just all the funny stuff, just hilarious stuff from people who are actually realizing that this could happen and it will shake up the Premier League. A lot of I've heard also, they don't want that stadium in the Premier League, so VAR, the decisions are blatantly going to go against us, etc., etc. We'll see about that. It might happen. If it does happen, if you can clearly see it, then things will need to be looked at, wouldn't they? But I think that it would benefit the Premier League.
Yeah, I know. I was actually on.
Would be just watching certain games just to see us just go, yeah, they'll lose 4-0. Or yeah, I want to see them arriving at which entrance does Haaland go through? Salah. They'll just want to do it just for that fact.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas for me, we owe Coventry. Coventry stayed up the season. We didn't get into the Premier League. They stayed up. Again, that could be unlucky, or that could be sort of them. But no, I just think it's our time.
Yeah, no, I do. We're high up, mate. We're high up. Which I don't even mind where we sit. As long as I hopefully got to go to this game, and obviously we have. So yeah, again, shout out to David, of course. So yeah, we're in block 516, so nowhere near you, mate. Obviously, you're in area 120, sorry. So yeah. Oh god, it's doing it again. Oh dear. Chris says the media still crying Luton and Carlisle made their respective playoff finals. I'm shocked Sunderland and Bradford not getting their lawyers in. Oh dear, honestly, mate. Like I said, for you guys, I knew you'd bring it back, especially being at home. Like you said, obviously you brung, 15k or whatever it was, a lot anyway. For a League Two playoff game. So I always thought you guys were gonna bring it back, and obviously you did. So there's that. Coventry versus Luton is the best final I can imagine. I want teams in Premier League not saying that.
To be fair, a lot of people were saying that as well.
Yeah. Like I said, like I was going to say earlier, I was on a channel earlier, and they'd done all the Premier League games predictions, and they obviously done the Luton one because it's obviously a massive game. And they were saying, it's someone different. They were mentioning what you were just mentioning there as well, about the way we'd go in there in that sense, the way we'd approach it, sort of thing as well. So yeah, there's that. Exactly, mate. Exactly. We can. We just got to extend to certain things. I saw this video. I didn't watch it, but it come up the other day, and I don't know how it's nearly got 100,000 views. I think some guy saying why Luton can't play in the Premier League with that stadium or something like that. It's just nonsense. I'm so bloody nervous, says Tom. Harry says Ben Wilson, good player as well. Yeah. Obviously, we did mention him. Bit of a shit house. He's similar to Lee Nichols for me, where he's a good keeper, but he's just an absolute helmet. You know what I mean? So. There we go. I think Hamer. I don't know why I keep saying Hammer. Actually, it's actually Hamer, isn't it? Suits Luton perfectly. Yeah, it would be decent. Blitz says, "Wish I could be at Wembley tomorrow." Common you Hatters. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Like I said, I'm grateful that I'm going to this game. Tom with an interesting thing. He says, "I hope it's not too hot tomorrow with our high press, and it could put us as a disadvantage." Nah, yeah, I think we'll be good. Chris says, if Luton get promoted, Rob Edwards, my manager of the season in Championship for me. Not even his squad. Really, a lot of questions about him taking step up from Forest Green to Watford. Yeah, that's very true. Obviously when we, he weren't, like we said and like you would have seen. Obviously, he wasn't a name we would have went for to start off with. But then we thought about it a little bit more. We took out the Watford thing because that was the main thing I was looking at. But then I realised he was actually doing all right for them. But they're just, what they're like with managers. He was only a couple of points off the playoffs. And obviously what he done with Forest Green, we wanted a young manager as well. So yeah, and obviously we know so far it's been brilliant. It would be even better tomorrow potentially. Edwards came in October, November time. I think it was, yeah, if I'm correct. Yeah, it was that time. Yeah, no, we have. Rob Edwards did say that as well in that interview as well. So yeah, there we go with that. Chris reckons the big pitch will suit Luton perfectly in this game. Yeah, I think it will. I think it will. Obviously, you mentioned it earlier. Billy says you guys were in the National League 9 years ago. Now you're one game away from the Prem. That's crazy. Oh no, mate. I just, every time someone mentions something like that, I just think of Ruddock. Obviously there's other people that deserve a massive shout out, but like obviously players on the pitch, what he's still with us to this day, and it's just crazy, isn't it? Anyway, it benefits teams like us and Luton being underdogs and written off because realistically we don't give a shit. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Harry says a lot of tickets that are sold in Coventry end. Think there is loads of neutrals bought their tickets. Yeah, there's a lot of neutrals going in the neutral section. There's actually quite a few I know going in that bit. So yeah, here we go with that. We'll get into our score predictions in a bit, Shay. So yeah, there we go. Could you imagine what Luton Carnival will be like if Luton win? Oh, God. Yeah, it would be absolutely mental, mate. We love Pelly. Exactly. Pelly the GOAT. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Love his banter as well. What a guy. What a guy. He's got everything. He's got everything to him. But, yeah, what we'll get into now, and then I'll try to turn my camera on after I've done it, is the lineup. So, the final time we'll be doing this this season. Win or lose, of course. The lineup. What are we going to go for in this one? I think I know roughly what I'm going to go for. It's just one player, potentially. But yeah, obviously, we'll do the usual. Yeah, as you lot know, I'll do it and see if my dad agrees or if we'd make any changes. So obviously, Ethan in goal. We know that's always be the case. Actually, why has it changed formation again? Hold up. Change that. There we go. It hasn't. No, what's it doing? Let me try that. Well, I'll go with that. Obviously, I'll go with that. I know we usually play a CDM and a 2IR, but yeah, we'll just go with that because the other one's being weird. So the back three, I would go with. I think I'd go. So obviously, injury news. I think everyone's available except Woodrow. Obviously, Rob Edwards did say a couple of weeks ago, he would be, but has come out. He's tried his hardest to be available, but he's not, unfortunately. So obviously, speedy recovery and all of that for Woodrow. So yeah, I'd go Bell, Lockyer, of course, and then I would go on the right. Probably go Osho. Osho or Burke, but I think Osho deserves it a little bit more. Obviously, Burke, still getting into the swing of things when he comes on at times. You can see that. Obviously, as the right wing back, obviously Drame. Left side, obviously Doherty if it's not Bell. So yeah, midfield. Now I would go with. This is where it's interesting for me when it comes to one specific player. I think I would go with. Actually, let me try the other formation quick, see if it will actually work. There we go. Right, yeah. So there we go. So I would probably go. I think I'd go Ruddock. Yeah. Obviously, you're going to put Nakamba in. That's an obvious one. And then this was a toss-up for me between Campbell or Clark. Obviously, Clark wasn't as good as everyone else in the last game. He wasn't terrible, but we've seen better. But I would go with him for this game. I feel I would go with him for this game. So yeah, I'll go Clark again, and then up front, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? Obviously Elijah, and Morris. So that's a lineup I'd go with. So yeah, do you agree with that, Dad, or would you make any changes?
No, it's the same. We'd probably Ruddock. But yeah, we know the formation. Ruddock swapping the Nakamba. But yeah, Clark, I still feel that he still needs to make his mark on the playoffs. He hasn't really. And yeah, strong defence, absolutely spot on. Doughty on fire. But they've still got another gear to go, I think. You know, it didn't feel like to me through the game against Sunderland, the second game, we was playing it. We was playing our best, but it wasn't like that's the only level we could go to, if that makes sense. I mean, we missed chances in that game as well, open goals that we could have been even more. You know, and they got a very good team. So I still think that we ain't done. We've still got that performance in us. And the fact is, what's key for me is we've only got Woodrow injured. And initially, potentially, if you'd have said that at the start of the season, you'd have been like, well, you know, but he hasn't contributed much. He has scored some good goals, and we know he's a good player, but at the end of the day, he's not pivotal in our team, is he? And you know, the youngster from Peterborough, Taylor, when he's come on, he's looked good. Brilliant header the other day, or whenever it was, like against Hull, I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Great save. Who knows? Yeah. And you'll have to put that down to McCarthy.
And he has got close to scoring in games. You know, not just that whole game. Middlesbrough had 2 good chances as well. Yeah. So,
and he's a bit of an unknown as well. They wouldn't have. Yeah. They can't really cater for him. So if he comes on at some point, they don't know his game.
Yeah.
You know, and if he can just turn it on, just then that's a good asset to have. So yeah, obviously we've got heads on the bench and that in the background. Lansbury, he's played at Wembley a few times, got promoted before. He'll be good, like chatting to the players before the game or half time or whatever. There's all that you don't see, which we've got as well. So yeah, that's the lineup. That has to be the lineup. I can't see it being different from that unless anyone suddenly pulls up an injury or whatever. Doubt it. Hopefully not. You never know.
Yeah, hopefully not. We have seen over the years a few times.
With Osha, I've rated him a lot. Again, he's already proved his worth, but again, this could be another one for him. It's just for me that's what it was. Part of me feels like if Nathan Jones was still the manager, I wouldn't be as confident because there was a lot of times, certain times when we were playing, we just couldn't close out games, and also was apparently we've got the worst. So if we go ahead, what is it, or we go behind, we can't
come back, sort of thing.
Back. I don't know if it's that or the other way around, but Coventry have got the opposite of that anyway. Right. So, but we drew too many games under him.
Yeah. And you look at a lot of the games, reflecting on that, a lot of the games at the start of the season, especially at home.
There was times where he was bringing on certain subs and things like that, and we was questioning it. It's like, what?
Yeah. I remember the Wigan game, for example, and we lost that at home. Now, we had no midfield for a good 10 minutes.
And I feel there's a bit of that. Whereas now, as the players themselves have said, they can express themselves that little bit more. It's not so regimental. It's still there, the basics and the focus. But when you've got that opportunity, go and burst forward or, take your time a little bit on that, but and get a perfect cross in and things like that. Little adjustments, which you can see have definitely made a difference. I feel like that's what's going to be key. I really, really do. This is under Nathan Jones. I can see, there was times in big games where we bottled it with Jones in charge. Watford defeat for the 4-0. I don't know, just there was a couple, So and there was always that little bit where maybe he was holding back on certain things just to, when finishing League Two, when we could have won the league, I think, and we just sort of faltered towards the end. We still got promoted. Just little things like that, which have clearly changed, and
No, I agree.
Also, it's been made of Mark Robbins. He's been at Coventry for years now, so that's going to benefit them. Whereas we've only had Rob Edwards for not even a year.
Yeah, not even
But what they're forgetting is we've had this structure in place throughout. The players, etc., have been together. The camaraderie, everything has been together. And it's hard to beat. We are hard to beat. And I cannot see us not scoring at Wembley.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
So, let's go.
There's a little bit on that before we get into our prediction. But I'll go through some comments and then we will get into it. Get yours in the chat as well. I know a few people have. I'll start them and then obviously we'll go through them once we've done ours. This is how Shay wants it to go. If he could pick. So he says he wants Cov to score. Then 60th Cov obviously get the goal. Then 9th minute Ruddock. Do you imagine that? Imagine the nerves, but just imagine that. That would be absolutely mental. And then we win on pens. Hopefully it don't go all that way. That's what I will say. But that would be pretty sick if that happened. There we go. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. I'm the same. I can say that, mate. Chris says Luton can compete in Premier League for me in long term if promoted. They're going in the same direction as Brentford and Brighton. Exactly. Top half, mid-table, even compete for Europe. Who knows? I mean, you never know, mate. You never know. I've said it for time, and I know you've said it as well, Dad. We are moving in similar directions to Brighton and Brentford. I think Brighton might be a few years ahead, but Brentford, I don't think we're far off them. And if they, I don't know how it is exactly, but they could get Europe, depending on what they do against City, and obviously the other games around them. So, and our recruitment's similar in the sense, but obviously because we're, not in the same league, people won't really notice it. But I agree, mate. I agree. You never know about the Europe as well. Look at Brighton and Brentford this season. Brighton have already confirmed it, haven't they? So, it's all interesting. No Woodrow. See, Shay will be loving that. So, how Stephen doesn't like Fred. Shay doesn't really like Woodrow. Like I said, he hasn't lived up to what we thought he has yet. He's had the odd games, like we said, but overall, it's one of them. That was the one for me. I'm not going to lie. That was the one for me because Campbell's a player you want to start. Everything's just not going my way. Everything's just falling over the place. But then again, he didn't start, obviously, against Sunderland. We were saying about it. So it's all interesting. And, you're not going to drop Nakamba, are you? Let's be honest, especially being on loan. So, but Clark for me is that I don't mind Campbell as a cam, but Clark is a cam, isn't he? So it's more, whereas Campbell's more, he can play there, but he's more defensive in a sense compared to him, sort of thing. So, it could be, but I think it could be something for Taylor. We have got Taylor there. Don't get me wrong, he hasn't scored yet, but he's come very close. And he's been unlucky not to, I feel, especially in that whole game anyway. That was, even though, Ingram was acting like a bit of a knob in that game, it was a good save. So, Osho's been good. Yeah, obviously, Dad, you've been a big, player on him. Obviously, you've always seen something that maybe other people didn't see. So, he has been. Even in games where he hasn't been so great, he's always redeemed himself. Like we said, like the Watford games, for example, obviously, he did show passion in that 4-0. He was probably the only player that did, but obviously he got a red card and then obviously scored in the last one. And it's hard to drop him. It's hard to drop him at the moment. So, yeah, that would be very interesting if that is the case. I mean, Harry does say these mad shouts, and sometimes they do actually turn out. But obviously, Elijah and Morris is the more ideal. But yeah, it's one of them. Obviously, Harry is a Birmingham fan, so he don't like Coventry. He says, could generally see it going either way. It's actually hard to predict. Honestly, just hope you win. As you know, Tyler can't stand those dickheads. So, yeah, there we go. Chris says, it's a fairy tale. Whoever goes up, the problems Coventry had and Mark Robins' unbelievable job he's done. Of course, journey Luton been on a decade ago. Luton were in non-league, just incredible. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Chris got in his prediction, so let me just start that. So is Jackie, so I'll get into that. So yeah, there we go with that. But it is that time, Dad. It is that time. One final time this season. Score prediction and your goal scorers.
I just think their players are going to turn up. Yeah. But so are ours. So it's not going to. It will start off cagey, but once the first goal goes in, I think then it's just gonna to and fro a little bit. So I'm gonna go 2-2 full time, and Luton win in extra time 3-2.
Nice. Your goal scorers.
Morris. Osho.
Like that.
And then I Doughty's going to win it for us.
Okay, that would be phenomenal. Thanks for this, Shay. We want to know this going into this. He's obviously never won a game he's been at, but then again, he did say this after. He said, we have won every game I've been at Wembley, obviously, with England. So that's a positive. You know what I mean? The only one time I've, obviously been to Wembley with Luton, we won that as well. Obviously, I don't really remember it. And I did actually find a picture the other day, Dad, where I actually cried on the goal. You trying to say, it's all right. No, I mean, I saw that the other day. So, yeah, there's that. Everyone's putting their predictions. Big up yourselves. Chris says 2 great defences for me. Yeah, obviously, we got the most clean sheets or second most up there with Burnley. So, yeah, absolutely. That would be absolutely whoever it is, if that was the case. But, first goal, that would be mental, that. Morris has to make a point. Yeah, exactly. Morris, my goal scorer, big players, big moments, the saying. I think Osho too. He's the best in corners. Yeah, he is good from them. Him and Lockyer are probably the best ones from getting onto it. I hope not, says Tom. Nerves couldn't take a 3-2 after extra time. Jackie's got hers. She's got Lockyer and Morris. Obviously, I'll get into a score prediction in a minute. It's between, fair enough. David's dad's also put in his prediction as well, so I will get into that. So, but anyway, my score prediction, one final time, win or lose. Obviously, we are hoping to win, of course. How do I see it going? What am I going to go for in this one? Luton versus Coventry, playoff final. Obviously, we did finish third. They finished fifth. We beat teams everyone else wanted to see in the final, unless obviously you're supporters of Coventry or Luton. I'm going to go. I think it's going to be a tight game. I can see both teams scoring. I can't see one team not scoring. I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. My goal scorers, I'm going to go Morris and I'm going to go Lockyer. I think it could be them, so it could be one of them. Morris at the back. Locker at the back. Morris in attack. One of them, hopefully. So we will see with that. And obviously that is in 90 minutes. So yeah, they are our score predictions done. Let me go through everyone else's. So Doth Vader's gone 3-1 Luton. Yeah, nice. That would be nice. We got this. Come on, you Atters. Yeah, man. Hopefully. Chris has gone 1-0 to Luton. That had the typical famous 1-0. Player final last season was 1-0 as well, wasn't it? So it could be in the Championship. Luton playoff experience from last season, key for me. Yeah. Luton very hard to beat. Both teams hard to beat. I only see a 1-0 in this one and Luton getting it. Well, yeah, hopefully, mate. If that's the case, I'll take any win, of course. 2-0 to us, says Jackie. I was thinking that, but then I was thinking, I think Coventry will score. But Jackie does well on predictions, so she might be right. She might be right. Harry's gone 1-1 in 90 minutes and Luton to win 2-1 in extra time. Okay, fair enough. So similar to you in the sense that, obviously, you've gone with more goals. Terry's gone 2-0. Luton again. Okay, another 2-0. Morris and Clark. I was thinking Clark, but I don't know. I've got a feeling he might get an assist. So, yeah. And then David's dad, Mark, has gone 3-1. Another 3-1. Nice. We like that. Pelly, Morris, and Lockyer.
Yeah,
so that would be nice.
Love Pelly to score.
Oh, mate, that would just be absolutely phenomenal, wouldn't it? It'd just be written in the stars in that sense. So, yeah. Morris at the back. Yeah, sorry, I messed up there. TJ, yeah, 100%, man. 100%. You know, obviously not 100% it will win, but I'm you know, I say my predictions. I stick by them. You know, so when it comes to that, yes, mate. I want 2-1 Luton. Yeah, any win, mate, but 2-1 would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Obviously for us. Look at the back. Morris in attack. Luton's going to the Premier League. Yeah, I got it wrong, didn't I? God's sake. Maybe 1-0. Yeah, potentially. It's going to be tight for me. It's going to be tight. We all reckon it will be tight, mainly. Great stream as always, lads. Massive good luck to you tomorrow. Yep, same to you. Obviously, you've got Stockport in the League 2 playoffs. So, yeah, good luck in that as well, mate. Want an Osho and Elijah goal or Osho and Pelly. Whoever, mate. I don't even mind. But like I said, if Ruddock scored, that should be written in the stars for me. I think we all want Pelly to score a banger. Whatever goal, mate, it would just be sick anyway. So it's just one of them. But yeah, man, that is that. Obviously, like I said, we will be going to this tomorrow. I found out where our fan zone is, so we probably will go there before the game. And obviously, if any of you are there as well, make sure you do come over. We'll just be anywhere there. I don't know specifically. But yeah, any final things you'd like to say, Dad, before we wrap up?
So what? Just enjoy it. It's going to be a thriller, you know. And if we do lose, just remember how far we've come still, and we're not going to suddenly, you know, start sinking anyway. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and then just enjoy it, and I just think we're going to do it.
Yeah, I honestly
just try and make as much memories as you can, because I think if we do win it, you will obviously cherish them for the rest of your life. So
yeah,
enjoy it. Just try and have as many good moments as you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, like I said, last time I went to Wembley, obviously I don't remember it because I was younger, but now, you know, I'll be crying in joy if we score, not you know, being scared sort of thing. So yeah, man, hopefully. But yeah, definitely, you know, that's why I'm going to try and see as many of you as possible as well, because it's just going to be boss, you know. So yeah, like I said, you know, there's another channel I know doing fan cam. So if you're confident as well, and if any of you want to know where it is, I'll let you lot know when I know, sort of thing. So yeah, Morris at the back. Yeah, I messed up. I think I've done that once on a watch along as well. So it's just one there, isn't it? Let's hope we'll both be having the beers. Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. It's one of them. Same here, mate. Same here. So yeah, big up to yourself, Stephen, mate. Like I said, obviously looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, mate. Big up yourself. Tuning in, obviously been a regular, a lot on any sort of content I do, mate. So big up to yourself. And yeah, big up to everyone else, of course. That's obviously tuned into this. A lot of people. It's a big game. So, big up to everyone who's tuned in. Obviously, big up to David yet again and his dad, obviously, for helping us when it comes to the tickets. And obviously, big up to David as well for the super chat that he sent earlier on. Much appreciated. Of course, as for the like count, we are currently on, what are we currently on? We're currently on 13 likes. I know a few people watch us back on playback. Obviously, Ben said he would earlier as well. So, yeah, I know others do as well. So, big up yourselves. And, obviously, we'll do a reaction to the game at some point. Not too sure when at the moment, but obviously, we will be doing stuff after that as well. Obviously, regarding, players' ratings for this season, as in, doing a tier maker sort of thing like we did last season. And then we'll probably do some, maybe do it weekly, if any transfer news comes out or that sort of thing. And then I'm thinking to do a video pretty much every day like I did with them topics when the season's officially over, or every other day to just, Luton news or Championship or wherever we are. It might be in the Premier League. So we'll see, man. We'll see, and hopefully we are. But yeah, we're currently on 13 likes, so big up yourselves for that. Obviously, smash the like button if you haven't already. As for subscribers, obviously none today, but I know obviously we hit our target of 1,750. So I big up yourselves for that. And yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them are in the description. Big up to everyone on TikTok, by the way. I've only had the account for, I think it's a month, or maybe just a little bit longer, and I've already got 300 followers. One of the videos, me doing react or watch long highlights, has actually pretty much got 40k. So big up to yourselves for that. So yeah, that's just T-Boys TV, and you should find it on there if you use it. But yeah, that is that. Shay, before we wrap up, says, remember Morris Manor match versus Cov. Okay. We'll see. Obviously, we'll go back to this if that is the case. But yeah, man, like I said, we'll both be at it tomorrow. So if you do see us, obviously, if you want to come on the vlog, then feel free. Or if you just want to see us, then feel free to do that as well. But yeah, one last time when it comes to a game, smash a like, subscribe, share, all of that business. And yeah, I will see you lot. We will see you lot tomorrow for the vlog. So yeah, till then, take care and peace. Comedy Ratters.